Hi everyone, Barry here at the TheLureBox. I was out fishing yesterday at my local reservoir. It wasn't as easy as we'd hoped. It was a difficult morning. It was quite windy and cold. The previous days were pretty cold. And the bailiff said if we needed an excuse, it's probably the wind, because it never fishes well after big winds. So anyway, it did improve a heck of a lot in the latter part of the day. The sun came out and the fish came on the bite. We caught quite a good number of zander. Hope you guys managed to get out first day after lockdown. But one thing, I'm obsessed with green at this particular venue, but my boat partner sort of had a lot of green, because I basically showed him my box and he was very sharp to identify that there was a lot of green. But he also had some natural lures, and when we weren't catching as well as we'd hoped, we started mixing it up a bit, and he actually started catching on a little white lure. This is the Flatnose Dragon from EJ Lures. I gave him a couple of these, but not as, it still wasn't, the bites weren't as frenetic as we had hoped. And I had a little white lure that I put on, but had a green tail. It's a secret lure for now, because I want to give it more experimentation, but I put it on and literally first cast, bang, bang, had bites, but I didn't have a stinger on. No, this is a, I believe, 9.5 centimeter lure. I had a 4.0 7-gram jig head on, but on the drop, first cast, bang bang, I had bites. I knew I would, because it was a salt and pepper color, which natural but with a little bit of a target. But the target being on the tail means little zander in particular, they're not like pike and perch. They tend to reel, we call them tail nippers. They grab the tail and you miss a lot of bites. You feel that tap, and they're really quick, zander, and they got hard mouths too, so even if they do take it in quick, if you don't set the hook. With the curly tails, the problem is that you can't actually put a stinger sort of towards the back, because once it's extended, it's like that. So I had a paddle tail on. I put a stinger on very next cast, tied a little, I think it was a size 8 stinger on. Very next cast, bang, caught one, and then had quite a few fish after on that. Obviously then we were limited for natural lures with green or a target, whether it be orange. I'm not sure that the specific color makes a difference, but I mentioned to my boat partner Diggs that we've got this stuff, Quick Dip, from Saboflex, which is great. It pretty much does that. So it's literally, I thought, well, let me see if I've got some natural colors, because I didn't really have many of these. I literally had a couple just to try out, and so I came back to the shop, just experimenting really. The only thing I will say is this dip, it actually is quite thick. I'll show you how easy it is though. So I think this is a bit of an experiment, but because this is a very fine tail and all the action in this lure is in the tail, I'm not that confident it's going to be as effective as like a paddle tail, where the paddle doesn't actually move itself. The paddle tail is pretty solid, but the whole thing moves from side to side. So I have done quite a few lures. I've done this one. I did watch a video the other day where someone said it doesn't make sense putting, if you've got a target area on the tail, because then you're drawing them to the tail, which might be meanwhile you're missing bites. So rather put it on the head, and then they might take it front on, or full on, not the short bite that people talk about, and they might actually hook them on the main hook. We did hook a fair few yesterday on the main hook, but the ones we were missing, we found we missed much less when we put a little stinger on, just with a little 6-pound AFW trace little stinger. I don't usually use stingers on if I can avoid it at all, but with zander in particular, I have found it's something you kind of need. So what I thought is maybe with these ones, instead of with the curly tails, instead of putting it on the tail, because even as I say, with that it'll probably affect the movement, because it does make it quite thick. You can see this one, this tail isn't as flexible as it was now. So if I put it on the head, maybe it'll also alleviate the problem of having no stinger. So I'll just have a 3.0 hook on here, and hopefully the fish will inhale it. So let's just show you how easy it is. These I did a couple of minutes ago, so they're already dry, but you literally give it a good shake. I've already given this one a good shake. This one will be coming home with me and going straight into my box, because yesterday, as many lures as we had, we were thinking maybe if we could put a bit of green on this one, a bit of green on that one. So I put on a box here so you can see it, and so it doesn't drip on my brand new oak table that I made. It's as easy as this. It's called Quick Dip for a reason, because you literally dip it in, a few seconds, then you let it drip off like that, the excess. Give it a little shake there. And turn it a bit. That drop on the nose isn't a problem. If it does dry on there, that's not a bad thing. You can then just lay it down like that. Don't know if you can see that. So I'll just lay it there for a couple of minutes. I mean, if you're not in a rush, you know, leave it as long as you want. But it literally is, I think it says 2 minutes. It dries really quick. Obviously different conditions. It's a bit warmer today, luckily. Spring seems to be in the air. So just play around with it. And yeah, there are a number of colors available in this, and a number of colors available in the Flatnose Dragon. As you can see, we do have some bright green. We didn't have any bright green of the curly tail, which I was kind of looking for, although that green's a bit bright for my liking. For a whole lure, I prefer that sort of green, but then I may even put a bit of a brighter green like that green on the tail or the head. But you know, as I say, where did that come from? I am a little obsessed with green. Diggs yesterday proved to me that, you know, it's not all about green. He was catching on white. I think a red lure, the monkey lures that he got the other day, he had a red one, he caught on that one. I did catch, I think, on some other colors that I did try. But anyway, there you go. Got some lures for next time. Probably be out next week. And I'm going to be armed with these with tiny little stingers on. Probably like even a size 18. Little stinger. I mean, the smaller it is, the means you can put it further back without it really affecting the action or looking too bad. I don't think the fish mind so much. The water's pretty dirty, but I think it's all in your head. They say lures are to catch the angler, and if you're confident in the lure and you use it, the more confident you are, the more you use it, the more likely you are to catch on it. It's a self-perpetuating fact. So there you go. Give it a try. Saboflex, lots of these flat nose lures in stock, and see you soon, hopefully on the water. Bye.